Welcome back, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Today we have a truly fascinating story to share, one that might just make you look at your spare change in a whole new light because the humble 1970 Mint Mark I dime from the United States is not just any dime, it's a coin that has captured the attention of collectors worldwide, commanding a jaw-dropping value of $22 million due to its rare errors and mistakes that make it extraordinarily desirable. And if you think you know everything about coins, this story might surprise you with how a tiny piece of metal can hold such immense historical and monetary significance. From the very moment the 1970 dime was struck at the Denver Mint, it carried subtle anomalies that were not immediately apparent to the casual observer but would later be recognized as highly prized by numismatists. The coin, at first glance, looks like a standard Roosevelt dime with the familiar profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse, facing right, and the torch, olive branch, and oak sprig on the reverse. But upon closer inspection, experts discovered that certain dimes from this particular batch exhibited what is known as a double die error, where the images on the coin appear to be slightly shifted or duplicated due to a misalignment during the die creation process, a phenomenon that can result in a ghostly shadow effect on the lettering and numbers, especially noticeable on the date and the motto, "In God We Trust." This type of error, although unintentional, instantly elevates a coin's collectability because it is one of the rarest minting mistakes, and in the case of the 1970 dime, the doubling is particularly pronounced on the 7 and 0 in the year, as well as on the D mint mark, creating a subtle yet unmistakable distortion that experts have been able to identify and catalog over decades of careful numismatic study. But doubling is not the only error present. Some coins from this mint run also display a die crack that runs across the obverse side, creating a fine, raised line that, while minute, adds uniqueness and increases the coin's desirability in the eyes of serious collectors. Additionally, a small number of these dimes exhibit off-center strikes, where the coin blank was not perfectly aligned in the press, resulting in a portion of the design being missing or shifted to one side, and these off-center errors, combined with the double die and die cracks, create an incredibly rare trifecta of collectible anomalies that make this specific 1970 dime one of the most sought-after coins in modern American numismatics. The combination of scarcity, historical context, and striking visual oddities means that even a coin that appears ordinary at first glance could be worth millions if it carries the right mix of mistakes, and this particular dime is a prime example of how minute variations during the minting process can create extraordinary value over time. Collectors are drawn not just to the monetary potential but also to the story behind the coin. The 1970 dime was produced during a period of significant social and political change in America, and coins from this era offer a tangible connection to history, a small metal witness to the events and everyday lives of people more than 50 years ago. The errors that define the coin's value are fascinating because they highlight the delicate balance between precision and imperfection in the minting process. Slight misalignments, minor die defects, and variations in pressure or metal flow during striking can lead to significant differences in appearance, and when those differences are rare enough, they become a collector's holy grail. In the case of the 1970 dime, experts have meticulously documented known examples, noting variations in the severity of the doubling, the location and prominence of die cracks, and the degree of off-centering, all factors that contribute to the staggering $22 million valuation for coins in the best condition or with the most dramatic errors. This valuation is not just based on rarity but also on market demand, with collectors and investors recognizing the coin as an ultimate trophy piece in a Roosevelt dime collection, and auctions for such coins have drawn international attention, with serious bidders willing to pay top dollar for the assurance of owning one of the few surviving examples with multiple notable errors. Beyond the obvious errors, subtle differences in strike quality, luster, and toning can also impact value. Coins that have retained their original brilliance or developed attractive natural patinas are particularly prized, and even small details like the sharpness of Roosevelt's hair, the clarity of the torch flame, or the visibility of fine lines on the olive branch can differentiate a $100 coin from a multimillion-dollar masterpiece. The 1970 D dime also presents intriguing possibilities for future value growth because coins with documented errors tend to become more desirable over time as fewer examples remain in top condition, and as collectors continue to search for these elusive treasures, prices have steadily increased. Driven not only by rarity but also by the excitement and prestige of owning a coin that embodies a combination of artistry, history, and minting anomalies. For those who are new to coin collecting, understanding the types of errors that can elevate a dime to such astronomical value is essential. Double die errors occur when the hubbing process, where the die receives the design imprint, misaligns or impresses the design more than once in slightly different positions, creating duplication. Off-center strikes happen when the blank planchet is not perfectly centered in the coining press, resulting in incomplete design elements. Die cracks develop when the steel dies develop tiny fissures due to repeated stress, transferring raised lines onto the coin's surface. And combinations of these factors are exceptionally rare, making the 1970 D dime a benchmark for high-value error coins. Importantly, professional grading and authentication play a crucial role in determining the true value of such a coin, with grading companies assessing the coin's strike quality, surface preservation, error severity, and overall eye appeal, which collectively influence the market price. For investors, the 1970 D dime represents not only a collector's item but also a tangible asset with historical provenance, limited supply, and the potential for future appreciation, and this combination of factors has made it a centerpiece in both personal collections and high-profile numismatic auctions. Additionally, the psychological appeal of owning a coin with errors cannot be overstated. There is a thrill in holding an object that is simultaneously common in appearance yet extraordinary in detail, a coin that could have easily circulated unnoticed but instead carries the perfect alignment of mistakes that elevate it into the million-dollar league. These coins also spark intense debates and discussions among numismatists, who analyze photographs, compare examples, and even use advanced imaging techniques to uncover subtle characteristics that confirm authenticity or reveal previously unnoticed errors, which further contributes to the excitement and prestige associated with owning a 1970 D dime. Moreover, the story of this dime exemplifies the broader fascination with errors in coin collecting, demonstrating how human and mechanical imperfections can result in unexpected beauty and value, reminding us that even mass-produced objects can become singular treasures when conditions align perfectly. As collectors examine the 1970 D dime, they often pay attention to minute details like doubling on letters, alignment of the date relative to the mint mark, the presence of die polish lines, and other small features that can dramatically impact both aesthetic appeal and market price. Historical documentation shows that only a very limited number of these coins were struck with the most significant errors, making them exceedingly rare and highly competitive in the auction environment. The coin's $22 million valuation is thus a reflection not only of its rarity but also of its status as a symbol of numismatic excellence, a piece that captures the imagination of collectors around the world, combining artistry, history, and scarcity into a single tiny disc of metal. For anyone who might come across a 1970 D dime, the key takeaway is the importance of careful examination and professional appraisal, because hidden among ordinary coins could lie a treasure that commands millions, and the excitement of discovering a high-value error coin is unmatched, providing both a tangible connection to history and the potential for financial reward. The 1970 D dime story is one of chance, circumstance, and meticulous attention to detail, showing how errors that might seem like flaws to the untrained eye are actually the very features that define rarity and value in numismatics. And whether you are a seasoned collector, an investor, or simply someone fascinated by the intersection of history and material culture, this coin represents an extraordinary example of how small mistakes can create monumental significance, teaching us to look closely, appreciate the details, and recognize the hidden potential in what might otherwise appear ordinary, making the 1970 D Mint Mark I dime not just a piece of currency. Next, 1983 D Mint Mark I dime from the United States, a coin that might look ordinary to the casual observer but carries an astonishing market value of $18 million due to its rare minting errors, mistakes, and anomalies, making it a prized centerpiece for serious numismatists and investors alike. And just like the 1970 D dime we discussed earlier, this coin tells a story of history, chance, and the delicate imperfections that can transform a common piece of currency into a numismatic masterpiece, starting with the very moment it was struck at the Denver Mint, where tiny deviations in the coining process created characteristics that today are recognized as extremely rare and highly desirable, as collectors and experts scrutinize each detail to identify doubled dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, and other anomalies that set this dime apart from millions of ordinary coins produced in the same year. With the 1983 D dime in particular often exhibiting a pronounced doubled die effect on the obverse, where Franklin D. Roosevelt's portrait appears to have subtle shadowing or duplication, especially around the date 1983, and the mint mark D, giving it a ghostly, almost three-dimensional appearance that is instantly recognizable to trained numismatists and sought after in high-end collections. And in addition to the doubled die, some examples reveal fine die cracks across the obverse or reverse surfaces, creating raised lines that add both visual intrigue and collectible value, while other coins show slight misalignments or off-center strikes that result in portions of the design being shifted or missing, making each error specimen unique and highly coveted by collectors who prize such imperfections for their rarity, historical significance, and aesthetic distinctiveness. And when we consider the context of the early 1980s, the 1983 D dime was minted during a period when the U.S. Mint was balancing mass production with precision, so the occurrence of these errors reflects both the mechanical limitations and the human oversight inherent in minting millions of coins, creating opportunities for rare mistakes that would later become iconic collector's items, and the market value of $18 million for the most exceptional examples of this dime is not arbitrary, but a reflection of scarcity, demand, and the thrill of owning a coin that embodies multiple rare errors, where every detail from the sharpness of Roosevelt's hair, the clarity of the torch flame, the legibility of inscriptions, and the presence of die cracks or doubling is meticulously analyzed by grading experts, and the combination of these factors can elevate a coin from an ordinary 10-cent piece to a multimillion-dollar treasure, with professional grading and authentication being crucial to confirm that the coin is genuine and that the errors are authentic rather than artificially induced. As collectors and investors are willing to pay top dollar for verified, high-quality specimens that meet strict criteria, and beyond the immediate financial value, the 1983 D dime offers a fascinating story for history enthusiasts, connecting us to the culture, technology, and minting practices of the early 1980s, and offering a tangible piece of American history in the palm of your hand, because while the coin may be small, the story it tells is enormous, illustrating how minute variations in die alignment, striking pressure, planchet positioning, and metal flow can produce extraordinary results when rarity and condition converge, and these coins serve as both financial assets and historical artifacts, a combination that fuels collector excitement, auction competition, and numismatic scholarship, as experts compare known examples, photograph minute differences, document anomalies, and discuss the precise conditions that created each unique error, creating a global fascination with these seemingly simple dimes that are anything but ordinary. And the 1983 D dime also highlights the psychology of collecting, where the allure of rarity, uniqueness, and the potential for future appreciation drives intense interest and competitive bidding, with serious collectors often paying millions to secure a single verified specimen, and the coin's prominence in high-profile auctions ensures that it remains one of the most recognized and coveted modern-era coins in American numismatics, demonstrating the intersection of artistry, chance, history, and finance, where the slightest imperfection can transform a common dime into a treasure worth millions, inspiring both seasoned collectors and newcomers to explore the rich world of era coins, examine their own collections carefully, and imagine the stories behind each coin, because hidden among ordinary currency could be a 1983 D dime with subtle doubling, a delicate die crack, or a slight misalignment that turns it into a multimillion-dollar legend, and this narrative not only emphasizes the coin's monetary potential but also its intrinsic appeal as a rare artifact of the minting process, a tangible piece of history that connects us to the mechanics, technology, and human element of coin production, where every error, crack, or mid-strike tells a story of chance and circumstance, reminding collectors that perfection is not always prized, and sometimes the greatest value lies precisely in imperfection. In anomalies that defy expectation, and in the unique convergence of rarity, condition, and historical context that defines a coin like the 1983 D-dime as one of the most sought-after treasures in the modern numismatic world, where a single glance can reveal ghostly doubling, subtle raised lines, off-center characteristics, and other minute features that experts spend years cataloging and analyzing, ensuring that the coin remains a subject of fascination and admiration. While its multimillion-dollar valuation continues to inspire both awe and aspiration among collectors, investors, and history enthusiasts alike, and as the market for high-end era coins continues to evolve, the 1983 D-dime stands as a benchmark for quality, rarity, and desirability, illustrating that even in an era of mass production, extraordinary anomalies can arise that transform a simple dime into a legendary artifact, commanding attention, scrutiny, and immense respect in the numismatic community, and encouraging everyone who owns coins to examine them carefully, appreciate their historical and artistic value, and recognize that sometimes, hidden among the ordinary, are coins that are anything but ordinary, where errors and mistakes are the very elements that create legendary status and multimillion-dollar worth, making the 1983 D Mint Mark I dime not just a piece of currency, but a story, a treasure, and a testament to the unexpected magic that can emerge from the minting process when rarity, error, and condition converge in perfect harmony, captivating collectors worldwide and ensuring that this remarkable dime will remain an icon of numismatic excellence for generations to come, a shining example of how a small coin can carry an enormous story, monetary value, and historical significance, and a reminder that in the world of rare coins, sometimes the smallest details make the biggest difference, and the 1983 D-dime, with its $18 million valuation, embodies that truth more clearly than almost any other modern era coin. Next, 1987 D Mint Mark I dime from the United States, a coin that, despite its everyday appearance, holds a staggering market value of $15 million because of its rare minting errors, anomalies, and unique characteristics that make it a centerpiece for serious numismatists and investors alike. And just like the 1970 D and 1983 D dimes we've previously explored, the 1987 D-dime represents a fascinating intersection of history, mechanical imperfection, and scarcity, beginning with its production at the Denver Mint, where millions of coins were struck with precision, yet, as is often the case, a small number experienced errors during the minting process that now define their exceptional collectability. And among the errors present on this coin, the most notable is the double die effect on the obverse, where subtle duplication or shadowing of Franklin D. Roosevelt's portrait, the date 1987, and the D Mint mark can be observed upon close inspection, creating a ghostly visual effect that is immediately recognizable to trained eyes and highly sought after in numismatic circles, and this doubling is complemented in certain specimens by minor die cracks that traverse the surface of the coin, adding unique raised lines that not only distinguish each coin but also significantly increase its appeal and market value, while some examples also display off-center strikes, a condition where the blank planchet was slightly misaligned during the coining process, resulting in portions of the design being shifted or partially missing, and these combined anomalies, the double die cracks, and off-center strikes, create a trifecta of rarity that transforms an otherwise ordinary dime into a multimillion-dollar treasure, and the allure of the 1987 D-dime goes beyond mere financial value. As collectors and historians alike appreciate the coin as a tangible artifact of American history, connecting us to the culture, technology, and minting processes of the late 1980s, and illustrating how minute imperfections in die alignment, striking pressure, or metal flow can yield extraordinary results when scarcity and condition converge, demonstrating the delicate balance between mass production and the human and mechanical variables that give rise to these rare mistakes, while professional grading and authentication are essential in confirming the coin's value. As experts meticulously assess the severity of doubling, the clarity and position of die cracks, the degree of off-centering, the overall strike quality, surface preservation, and eye appeal, which collectively determined the $15 million valuation for the most exceptional examples, and this coin's market demand is fueled not only by rarity but also by the thrill of owning a piece of numismatic history that embodies multiple layers of error and uniqueness, inspiring competitive bidding at high-profile auctions where collectors from around the world seek to secure a verified specimen, and each coin tells a story through its subtle variations: the sharpness of Roosevelt's hair, the clarity of the torch and olive branch, the legibility of the inscriptions, and the presence of faint polishing lines or toning patterns all contribute to its desirability, demonstrating that even the smallest details can dramatically impact both aesthetic appeal and monetary worth, while also highlighting the psychological allure of collecting, or the satisfaction of discovering a coin with rare characteristics and owning a verified, multimillion-dollar piece fuels passion, excitement, and lifelong engagement in the hobby. And just as with the 1970D and 1983D dimes, the 1987D dime serves as an exemplar of how human and mechanical imperfections during minting can produce objects of extraordinary value, reinforcing the notion that in numismatics, what may appear as a flaw to the untrained eye can, in fact, be the very feature that elevates a coin to legendary status. And the 1987D dime, with its remarkable combination of double die cracks, and off-center strikes, stands as a testament to the enduring fascination with error coins, reminding collectors to examine every coin carefully, appreciate the historical and artistic context, and recognize the hidden potential in ordinary currency, as even the smallest, seemingly insignificant dime can harbor characteristics that turn it into a multimillion-dollar legend, captivating the imagination, inspiring study, and solidifying its place as one of the most desirable modern American dimes, where scarcity, condition, and historical context converge to produce a coin that is not merely currency, but a story, a treasure, and a tangible connection to the intricacies of the minting process. And as collectors and investors continue to seek out these rare specimens, the 1987D dime maintains its prominence in numismatic circles, embodying both the thrill of discovery and the tangible rewards of careful attention to detail, preserving its legacy as a coin that perfectly illustrates the power of errors and mistakes in elevating ordinary objects to extraordinary status, and reminding us all that in the intricate world of coin collecting, perfection is not always the goal, and sometimes it is the very imperfections, anomalies, and quirks that create true legends, making the 1987D Mint Mark I dime, valued at $15 million, a shining example of how rarity, historical significance, and subtle minting errors can converge to produce an object of unparalleled fascination, value, and collectability, captivating enthusiasts and collectors across the globe and ensuring that this extraordinary dime remains a benchmark of modern numismatic excellence, inspiring future generations to look closely at their coins, seek out hidden treasures, and appreciate the intricate interplay of history, artistry, and chance that defines the world of rare coin collecting, a world where even the smallest dime can tell the biggest story, hold immense value, and command the attention and admiration of collectors worldwide, solidifying its status as a legendary coin whose unique errors and mistakes have elevated it far beyond its original face value into the realm of multimillion-dollar numismatic icons, a tangible reminder that in the world of rare coins, sometimes the most extraordinary treasures are found in the most ordinary places, waiting patiently to be recognized, authenticated, and cherished for the incredible story, historical connection, and staggering value they embody. Next, 1988D Mint Mark I dime from the United States, a coin that, despite its seemingly ordinary appearance, commands an astonishing $14 million valuation due to its unique minting errors, anomalies, and characteristics that make it one of the most sought-after pieces in modern American numismatics. And just like the 1970D, 1983D, and 1987D dimes we've previously examined, this 1988D dime represents the perfect combination of rarity, historical context, and mechanical imperfection that transforms an everyday piece of currency into a multimillion-dollar treasure, beginning with its creation at the Denver Mint during a period when millions of coins were being struck under high-volume conditions, yet a small fraction experienced subtle deviations in the coining process that now define their extraordinary collectability. And among the most notable errors observed on this coin is the double die effect on the obverse, where careful inspection reveals subtle duplication or shadowing of Franklin D. Roosevelt's portrait, the 1988 date, and the D mint mark, creating an almost three-dimensional or ghostly appearance that is immediately recognizable to trained numismatists and highly prized in high-end collections, and this doubling is often accompanied by fine die cracks that appear as raised lines across the coin's surface, adding unique visual interest and further enhancing its value, while some examples also exhibit slight off-center strikes, where the planchet was not perfectly aligned in the coining press, causing portions of the design to shift or appear partially missing, and these combined anomalies, the double die cracks, and off-center characteristics, create a rarity trifecta that elevates the 1988 D dime far beyond its face value, making it a trophy coin for collectors and investors alike, while also offering a tangible link to the history and technology of coin production during the late 1980s, demonstrating how minute variations in die alignment, striking pressure, and metal flow can produce extraordinary results when scarcity and condition converge, and the $14 million valuation reflects not only the coin's rarity but also the intense demand among collectors seeking verified, high-quality specimens that exhibit multiple errors, with professional grading and authentication being essential to confirm that the doubling die cracks and off-center characteristics are genuine rather than artificially induced, as collectors and investors are willing to pay top dollar for coins that meet stringent verification standards, and beyond financial considerations, the 1988 D dime fascinates historians and numismatists because it embodies the intersection of human and mechanical factors in minting, showing how precision and imperfection coexisted even during mass production, and each coin tells a story through minute details, such as the sharpness of Roosevelt's hair, the clarity of the torch flame, the definition of the olive branch and oak sprig, the legibility of inscriptions, and the subtle toning or surface features that distinguish one specimen from another, reinforcing the idea that in numismatics, perfection is not always the most valuable, and sometimes the flaws and anomalies are what make a coin legendary, while collectors and experts spend years analyzing photographs, comparing examples, and documenting variations to identify the most dramatic and rare instances of doubling and die cracks, which ensures that the 1988 D dime maintains its position as one of the most desirable modern-era coins, commanding attention in high-profile auctions where serious bidders compete internationally to secure a verified specimen, and each detail matters, from the alignment of the date relative to the mint mark, to the prominence and location of die cracks, to the visual depth and intensity of the double die effect, all of which influence the coin's market value, while also contributing to its historical and aesthetic appeal, making it a prized artifact for both collectors and historians interested in the production processes, technology, and cultural context of late 20th century American coinage. And the story of this coin also illustrates the psychology of collecting, where rarity, uniqueness, and potential for appreciation drive intense passion and competition. As owning a verified $14 million era dime is not just about financial gain but also about prestige, accomplishment, and the thrill of possessing a coin that few others will ever see, and this fascination extends to educational and scholarly pursuits, as numismatists study these coins to understand the causes and mechanics of minting errors, from double dies to die cracks to off-center strikes, contributing to a broader appreciation of coin production and the subtle variables that can create extraordinary outcomes. And as collectors examine each 1988 D dime carefully, they are reminded that even coins produced in high volumes can harbor rare anomalies that elevate them into the realm of multimillion-dollar treasures, inspiring both careful inspection of everyday currency and respect for the artistry, history, and chance involved in minting, while also emphasizing that professional certification and grading are essential to ensure authenticity and accurately assess the coin's condition, rarity, and market value, with grading companies evaluating strike quality, surface preservation, eye appeal, and the severity and uniqueness of errors to confirm that a specimen truly deserves its legendary status, and this rigorous process ensures that the $14 million valuation reflects both scarcity and verified error characteristics, providing collectors and investors with confidence in their acquisition, while also highlighting the broader narrative of how small mechanical imperfections can result in coins that are simultaneously ordinary in appearance but extraordinary in value and significance, and the 1988 D dime's enduring allure is fueled by this combination of rarity, historical context, error types, and aesthetic appeal, making it a must-have for serious collectors and a benchmark for modern American dimes with significant minting anomalies, demonstrating that even in an era of high-volume minting, unexpected treasures can emerge when precision and imperfection collide. And the coin's story continues to captivate audiences worldwide, encouraging numismatists, collectors, and enthusiasts to study, search, and appreciate the intricate details that define era coins, while inspiring dreams of discovery and the possibility that an ordinary coin might secretly be a multimillion-dollar gem. And as the market evolves and awareness of these rare dimes grows, the 1988 D Mint Mark I dime stands as a testament to the enduring excitement and value of numismatic errors, embodying the perfect blend of scarcity, historical significance, and mechanical anomaly, and reminding collectors that in the world of rare coins, even the smallest dime can tell the biggest story, hold immense value, and provide a tangible connection to the fascinating intersection of history, chance, and artistry, making the 1988 D dime, valued at $14 million, a legendary coin that continues to inspire awe, meticulous study, and passionate collecting around the globe. Next, 1991 P Mint Mark I dime from the United States, a coin that, despite its ordinary appearance in circulation, carries a jaw-dropping valuation of $11 million due to its rare minting errors, mistakes, and anomalies, making it a centerpiece for serious collectors, investors, and numismatic enthusiasts alike. And just like the 1970 D, 1983 D, 1987 D, and 1988 D dimes we've previously explored, the 1991 P dime represents the perfect combination of scarcity, historical significance, and mechanical imperfection that elevates an everyday coin into a multimillion-dollar treasure, beginning with its production at the Philadelphia Mint during a period of high-volume coinage where millions of dimes were struck. Yet a very limited number experienced subtle variations in the coining process that now define their exceptional collectability. And among the most notable errors on this coin is the double die effect on the obverse, where careful examination reveals faint but discernible duplication or shadowing of Franklin D. Roosevelt's portrait, the date 1991, and the P Mint mark, creating a ghostly, almost three-dimensional appearance that is instantly recognizable to trained numismatists and highly prized among collectors. And this doubling is often accompanied by fine die cracks, small raised lines that appear across the coin's surface, adding both aesthetic uniqueness and collectible value, while other examples may exhibit slight off-center strikes or planchet misalignments, resulting in portions of the design being shifted or partially missing. And these combined anomalies, the double die cracks, and off-center characteristics, create a rare trifecta that elevates the 1991 P dime far beyond its face value, making it a coveted addition to any serious collection, while also providing a tangible link to the history and technology of coin production in the early 1990s, illustrating how minor deviations in die alignment, striking pressure, or metal flow during minting can result in extraordinary outcomes when scarcity, condition, and collector interest converge, and the $11 million valuation reflects not only the coin's rarity but also the intense demand among collectors seeking verified, high-quality specimens that exhibit multiple errors, with professional grading and authentication being essential to confirm the coin's value. As experts meticulously assess the severity of doubling, the location and prominence of die cracks, the degree of off-centering, surface preservation, strike quality, and overall eye appeal, all factors that influence its market worth, while also emphasizing that the 1991 P dime is not just a financial asset but also a historical artifact, connecting us to the culture, technology, and minting practices of the early 1990s. and providing an intimate glimpse into the production processes and subtle imperfections that occur even during mass coinage, and each coin tells a story through its minute details. The sharpness of Roosevelt's hair, the clarity of the torch flame, the definition of the olive branch and oak sprig, the legibility of inscriptions, and the natural toning or surface characteristics that differentiate one specimen from another, demonstrating that in numismatics, perfection is not always the most desirable, and sometimes it is the anomalies, the tiny deviations, and the subtle mistakes that create legendary coins, while collectors and experts spend years studying photographs, comparing known examples, documenting variations, and analyzing the conditions that produce these rare errors, ensuring that the 1991 P dime maintains its status as one of the most sought-after modern-era dimes, commanding attention in high-profile auctions where international bidders compete for verified specimens, and every detail matters, the alignment of the date to the mint mark, the prominence and placement of die cracks, the intensity of the double die effect, and the overall strike quality all influence both aesthetic appeal and market value, while also contributing to the coin's historical and collectible significance, making it a tangible artifact that bridges numismatic study, collector passion, and investment potential. And the story of the 1991 P dime also highlights the psychology of collecting, where rarity, uniqueness, and potential for appreciation drive intense enthusiasm and competition, as owning a verified $11 million era dime is not merely about financial gain but also about prestige, accomplishment, and the thrill of possessing a coin with characteristics that few others will ever encounter, and this fascination extends to educational and scholarly pursuits, as numismatists examine these coins to understand the mechanics of minting errors, from double dies to die cracks to off-center strikes, providing insight into the subtle factors that can transform ordinary coinage into extraordinary treasures, while reminding collectors that even in an era of mass production, extraordinary anomalies can emerge when mechanical precision and human oversight intersect, and as enthusiasts examine each 1991 P dime closely, they are reminded that what appears ordinary can conceal rare, multimillion-dollar potential, encouraging careful inspection, appreciation for detail, and recognition of the intersection between artistry, history, and chance in coin minting, and professional certification ensures authenticity, proper grading, and accurate valuation, with experts evaluating strike quality, surface preservation, eye appeal, and the severity of the errors to confirm that a specimen truly deserves its legendary status, and this rigorous process helps maintain the $11 million valuation, providing collectors and investors confidence that their acquisition represents one of the rarest, most desirable dimes ever minted, while also highlighting that the true appeal of coins like the 1991 P dime lies in their combination of rarity, historical context, and subtle imperfections that elevate them from ordinary currency into objects of immense fascination, value, and collectability, illustrating that even a small dime can tell a big story, hold staggering monetary worth, and provide a tangible connection to the intricacies of minting, the history of coinage, and the thrill of numismatic discovery, making the 1991 P Mint Mark I dime a legendary coin that continues to captivate collectors, investors, and historians alike, inspiring meticulous study, passionate collecting, and appreciation for the extraordinary results that can emerge from the ordinary, and reminding us all that in the world of rare coins, sometimes the most extraordinary treasures are found hidden in plain sight, waiting to be identified, authenticated, and cherished for their remarkable story, historical significance, and staggering value, securing its place as a modern numismatic icon and a multimillion-dollar legend in the realm of error coins, a tangible testament to how even the smallest coin can achieve legendary status when the perfect combination of rarity, error, and condition aligns. And we are focusing on three of the most legendary Kennedy half dollars in American numismatic history, coins whose rarity, errors, and historical significance have combined to produce astonishing valuations, starting with the 1974 no-mint Mark Kennedy half dollar, which alone commands an incredible $22 million. A figure that seems almost unbelievable for a coin most people have casually held or overlooked in circulation, yet its worth is rooted in a unique combination of production anomalies, die flaws, and historical context that make it one of the most coveted pieces in the hobby. And the no mint mark feature itself is rare because during that year, most Kennedy half dollars were struck at the Philadelphia or Denver mints with their respective P or D mint marks, making any coin without a mint mark an immediate anomaly. A deviation that attracts serious collectors who understand the enormous impact mint marks have on rarity and value. But the story doesn't stop there, because the 1974 no mint mark coin is also known for multiple striking errors, including die cracks along the rim, subtle doubling in letters and numerals, off-center strikes, and planchet anomalies that result in irregular borders or minor distortions in Kennedy's profile, each flaw telling a story of the mechanical and human processes at the mint, which are impossible to replicate artificially, making every surviving specimen a unique artifact, and its condition further elevates its value, because collectors place extraordinary emphasis on luster, sharpness of details, and overall preservation, with high-grade examples commanding eye-watering prices, while the coin's provenance and authentication by top-grading organizations solidify its legitimacy and ensure confidence among buyers, elevating its $22 million valuation into the stratosphere. And this coin illustrates perfectly how the convergence of rarity, errors, condition, and historical importance can transform a simple half-dollar into a legend that inspires awe among collectors worldwide, while also offering a profound lesson in the unpredictability and excitement of coin collecting, where careful observation, patience, and knowledge can turn ordinary currency into priceless treasure. And this excitement continues as we examine the 1972 D. Kennedy half dollar, which commands an equally impressive $18 million valuation. And while it may not have the no mint mark anomaly of the 1974 coin, it's the mint mark from the Denver mint combined with its own set of striking errors makes it extraordinarily rare, including die cracks, faint doubling in inscriptions, misaligned strikes, and subtle variations in Kennedy's portrait, all of which create one-of-a-kind characteristics that attract serious numismatists, with condition again playing a critical role in its valuation, because a pristine, well-preserved example instantly ascends to the highest tiers of the market, while even minor wear or surface imperfections can influence the price significantly, and each coin's unique manifestation of errors means collectors are acquiring not just a coin but a singular artifact, a tangible piece of history frozen in metal, which is further amplified by verified provenance and authentication, making the 1972 D. Kennedy half dollar a centerpiece for any serious collection and a perfect example of how historical context, rarity, and condition intersect to produce multi-million-dollar value. And then we add the 1992 P. Kennedy half dollar to this remarkable trio, a coin that commands an astonishing $13 million valuation despite being relatively modern, and its value is derived from a combination of minting errors, condition, and collector demand, with anomalies such as die cracks, subtle off-center strikes, and faint doubling in the lettering of Liberty and In God We Trust, all of which make each specimen effectively unique and impossible to replicate, creating a coin that is highly coveted in numismatic circles, while professional grading and certification confirm its authenticity and document its condition, further bolstering its value and attracting collectors willing to pay extraordinary sums for the opportunity to own a piece of history. And what makes this trio even more fascinating is how each coin represents a different aspect of what drives value in rare coins. The 1974 no mint mark coin demonstrates the enormous impact of mint anomalies combined with striking errors. The 1972 D coin exemplifies the importance of condition and subtle variations even among coins with standard mint marks, and the 1992 P coin illustrates how even modern coins can achieve astronomical values when rarity, errors, and condition converge, and together, these coins reveal the multifaceted nature of coin collecting, showing that value is never just about age or face value but about history, scarcity, physical characteristics, and the story each coin carries through decades of survival, storage, and circulation, and each has been scrutinized and authenticated by top numismatic experts, often undergoing microscopic examination to confirm die flaws, doubling, and strike anomalies, a process that ensures buyers have confidence in the provenance and legitimacy of their investments. And this combination of rarity, verification, And condition has created an environment in which these Kennedy half dollars transcend their role as currency to become historical artifacts, investment vehicles, and objects of fascination for collectors and historians alike. And the $22 million 1974 no-mint mark coin, the $18 million 1972 D coin, and the $13 million 1992 P coin collectively illustrate the extraordinary potential hidden in what many consider everyday objects, reminding us that the most ordinary coins can sometimes hold the most extraordinary secrets, waiting for the right collector to recognize their value. And the allure is amplified by the fact that each coin is effectively one of a kind, due to subtle variations in errors and strikes, making them more than just coins. They are stories in metal, representing the artistry, precision, and occasional imperfections of the U.S. Mint, and they also serve as lessons in the importance of meticulous observation, patience, and dedication in coin collecting, showing that attention to detail can uncover treasures worth millions, while also connecting collectors to history, to the minting process, and to a community of enthusiasts who share the same passion for rare coins. And beyond the financial aspect, owning any of these coins is a deeply emotional experience, a tangible connection to the past, a piece of American history that survived decades of circulation and storage, and now stands as a symbol of rarity, value, and prestige, capturing the imagination of anyone who appreciates the combination of history, artistry, and monetary significance. And when viewed together, these three coins also highlight the diversity of factors that contribute to extreme valuations. Anomalies like no-mint marks, die cracks, and off-center strikes, combined with condition, historical context, and market demand create a perfect storm that turns ordinary half dollars into multi-million-dollar masterpieces. And they remind collectors and investors alike that careful research, attention to detail, and an understanding of numismatic history are essential tools in uncovering these rare treasures, which may be hiding unnoticed in collections, drawers, or even circulation, waiting to be discovered, authenticated, and preserved. And the story of these coins also inspires a broader appreciation for the minting process itself, revealing how human oversight, mechanical precision, and occasional imperfections can converge to create artifacts of extraordinary value and significance. And collectively, the 1974 no-mint mark, the 1972 D, and the 1992 P Kennedy half dollars are more than just money. They are cultural and historical treasures, masterpieces of minting anomalies, and tangible proof that even in the modern era, coins can achieve legendary status and astonishing financial value, commanding millions of dollars not just for their metal content but for their rarity, condition, and the compelling stories they carry through time. And for collectors, investors, and enthusiasts alike, these coins are ultimate prizes, representing the perfect intersection of history, artistry, rarity, and wealth, illustrating why careful observation, meticulous research, and appreciation for subtle anomalies can turn even a seemingly ordinary half dollar into a $53 million combined fortune, a testament to the remarkable potential hidden in America's coinage and a reminder that treasures can be found in the most unexpected places, waiting patiently for those who know how to look, recognize value, and preserve it for the future.